There is a silent thief in your life. It is an invisible force that enters your home, your car, and your mind, and it steals from you every single day. It doesn't take your television or your wallet. It takes something far more valuable. It takes your future. This thief is the habit of wasting money. It is the unconscious, impulsive, and socially conditioned behavior that keeps you running on a treadmill, working harder and harder just to end up in the exact same place month after month, year after year. Your paycheck arrives, a brief moment of relief, and then like water through a sieve it vanishes. A coffee here, a subscription there, a new gadget you deserve, a dinner out because you're tired. Each one is a small, seemingly insignificant leak, but 1,000 small leaks will sink the greatest ship. And your ship is sinking. The 99% of people have accepted this as normal. They call it living. They are slaves to a cycle of earning and spending, their financial lives dictated by their impulses and the brilliant marketing of a world designed to keep them as compliant consumers. They are perpetually one emergency away from disaster, living with a constant, low-grade hum of financial anxiety that they numb with the very spending that causes it. This audiobook is your declaration of war against that thief. It is your blueprint for plugging the leaks, for taking back control, and for transforming your relationship with money from one of slavery to one of mastery. We are going to expose the lie that you have been sold, the lie that wealth is about what you earn. Wealth has very little to do with the size of your paycheck. It has everything to do with what you do with your paycheck. It's about how much you keep, and more importantly, how hard you make that money work for you. The secret is to stop being a consumer and to start being an investor in your own future. This is the fundamental shift that separates the wealthy from the broke. While the 99% are using their money to buy liabilities that make them look rich, the 1% are using their money to buy assets that actually make them rich. This is not a path of deprivation. It is a path of intention. It is not about saying no to everything. It is about saying a powerful, strategic yes to your own freedom. This is your step-by-step guide to building a fortress of wealth, starting from nothing. We will not use confusing jargon. We will not talk about get-rich-quick schemes. We will lay out the simple, unsexy, and brutally effective principles that, when applied with consistency, make financial success an inevitability. If you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you are ready to fire the thief from your life and hire yourself as the architect of your own financial destiny, then your work starts now. To stay on this path and continue to receive the hard-hitting truths you need to win, subscribe to this channel right now. Don't be part of the 99% who let their future be stolen. Be the 1% who commits, acts, and builds an empire. Subscribe now and let's begin the work. And if you find value by the end of this video, please leave a meaningful comment to keep motivating us to make content like this. Chapter 1: The Consumer's Curse. Living paycheck to paycheck. Before you can build, you must first understand the ground you are standing on. For most people, that ground is a treacherous, sinking swamp. It is the land of the paycheck-to-paycheck life, a modern form of serfdom that has trapped billions in a cycle of quiet desperation. This is the consumer's curse, and breaking it is the first, non-negotiable step toward wealth. The curse is a simple but vicious loop. You work hard to earn money. As soon as you earn it, you spend it, often on things you don't need, to impress people you don't like, and to get a temporary feeling of relief from the stress of a life you don't control. Because you have spent all your money, you are forced to go back to work, often at a job you dislike, to earn more money, just to repeat the cycle. It is a hamster wheel, powered by your own labor, that goes nowhere. The bars of this cage are not made of iron. They are made of your own habits, your own beliefs, and the powerful social conditioning you have been subjected to since birth. You have been meticulously trained to be a world-class consumer. Every advertisement, every movie, every social media post is a piece of programming designed to convince you that your identity is tied to what you own. Happiness is a new car. Success is a bigger house. Self-worth is the latest smartphone. The entire economic system is built on this illusion, and you are its willing fuel source. The 99% have fully internalized this programming. They see money not as a tool for building freedom, but as a resource for immediate consumption. The arrival of a paycheck is not seen as an opportunity. It is seen as a starting pistol for a race to spend. They suffer from a psychological phenomenon known as lifestyle inflation. When their income increases, their spending increases at the same or an even faster rate. A raise doesn't lead to more savings. It leads to a more expensive car payment. A bonus doesn't build an investment account. It pays for a more extravagant vacation. They are like a person trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom. No matter how much water they pour in, the bucket will always be empty. This is why a high income does not equal wealth. There are doctors, lawyers, and executives earning hundreds of thousands of dollars a year who are just one or two missed paychecks away from financial ruin. They are high-income, poor people, trapped in a golden cage, but a cage nonetheless. Their high-flying lifestyle is a liability, a massive weight that requires constant, exhaustive effort to maintain. The curse is also fueled by a deep-seated desire for instant gratification. We live in a world that has trained us to expect everything now. This has destroyed the muscle of patience, the ability to delay a small pleasure today for a much greater reward tomorrow. The 99% want the feeling of success now, so they finance a luxury car they can't afford. They want the perfect home now, so they take on a mortgage that will keep them chained to a desk for 30 years. They are trading their future freedom for present comfort. They are eating their seed corn instead of planting it. You must see this cycle for what it is: a trap. A brilliant, self-perpetuating system for keeping you a compliant worker and a predictable consumer. It is a life of playing defense, of constantly being one step behind, of living with a knot of anxiety in your stomach that never truly goes away. To break the curse, you must make a radical, countercultural decision. You must decide to stop being a consumer and to start being a builder. You must decide that your future self is more important than your impulsive, present self. You must be willing to be different. You must be willing to have your friends and family think you are strange because you drive an older car, you don't have the latest phone, and you are not constantly chasing the next material high. You are playing a different game. Their game is to look rich. Your game is to actually be rich. And the definition of rich is not having a lot of stuff. It is having a lot of options. It is having freedom. The first step in breaking the curse is awareness. For the next week, I want you to become a ruthless observer of your own consumer behavior and the programming that surrounds you. Notice every advertisement and ask, what feeling is this trying to sell me? Notice every time you feel the urge to make an impulse purchase and ask, what am I really trying to buy here? Am I trying to solve a problem, or am I trying to numb a feeling? This process of conscious observation will begin to deprogram you. You will start to see the matrix. You will start to see the invisible bars of your cage. This awareness is the first glimmer of light in the darkness of the consumer's curse. It is the beginning of your escape. You are not your car. You are not your clothes. You are not the number on your paycheck. You are a creator, a builder, an owner in the making. It is time to stop fueling a system that keeps you poor and start building a system that makes you free. Chapter 2: Your First Investment, the Mindset of an Owner. Before a single dollar is saved or invested, the most important transaction must take place. This transaction happens in the silent, fertile ground of your own mind. It is the single greatest investment you will ever make, and it costs you nothing but your old, limiting beliefs. This is the investment in a new identity, the mindset of an owner. The 99% of people move through the world with the mindset of a renter. They rent their time to an employer. They rent their money from a credit card company. They rent their lifestyle through an endless series of payments. A renter's mindset is focused on the short term, on the monthly payment, on maintaining a certain appearance. A renter is a caretaker of someone else's property. They do not have the deep, vested interest of an owner. An owner's mindset is a complete paradigm shift. An owner is not a caretaker. They are a cultivator. They are not focused on the monthly payment. They are focused on the long-term equity. An owner understands that their life is the greatest enterprise they will ever build, and they are the CEO, the majority shareholder, and the janitor, all in one. To invest in this mindset, you must first understand its core components. The first component, as we've touched on, is a shift from consumption to acquisition. The renter asks, "What can I buy with this money?" The owner asks, "What asset can I acquire with this money?" An asset is anything that has the potential to grow in value or produce income. The renter buys a new television. The owner buys a share of the company that makes the television. The renter pays for a streaming subscription. The owner buys a share of the streaming company. The renter sees money as a tool for spending. The owner sees money as a tool for owning. Every dollar that enters your possession must be seen as a seed. You have a choice. You can eat the seed now for a fleeting moment of pleasure, or you can plant it in the field of assets, where it can grow into a tree that will bear fruit for the rest of your life. The owner is a planter of trees. The second component is the embrace of delayed gratification as a superpower. The renter mindset is addicted to now. It is a child's mindset, demanding immediate satisfaction. The owner's mindset is an adult's mindset, capable of making a strategic sacrifice in the present to secure a much greater victory in the future. This is not about deprivation. It is about choice. It is about consciously choosing the freedom of tomorrow over the trinket of today. When you see someone driving a 10-year-old car, the renter's mind thinks, "They must be broke." The owner's mind thinks, "I wonder how much they are investing every month because they are not saddled with a massive car payment." You must learn to see the invisible. The true signs of wealth are not the expensive liabilities that people display, but the unseen assets they are quietly accumulating. The third component of the owner's mindset is a relentless focus on your own balance sheet. The renter is obsessed with their income statement, the paycheck that comes in and the bills that go out. The owner is obsessed with their net worth. As we've discussed, your net worth is the value of your assets minus the value of your liabilities. This is your true financial scorecard. The owner's primary financial goal is to make this number go up, month after month, year after year. This changes everything. It forces you to think about every financial decision in a new light. Does this purchase increase my assets or my liabilities? Will this choice grow my net worth or shrink it? The owner is constantly working to build their asset column and shrink their liability column. The renter is doing the exact opposite. Finally, the owner's mindset is one of radical, unapologetic responsibility. The renter blames the landlord for the leaky faucet. The consumer blames the economy for their lack of savings. The owner understands that their financial house is their responsibility to build and to maintain. There are no excuses. There is no one to blame. There is only the work to be done. This is the most empowering shift of all. It is the moment you stop waiting for a rescue and you realize that you are the rescuer. So how do you make this investment? It is a daily practice. It is about catching your old renter thoughts and consciously replacing them with owner thoughts. When you feel the urge to make an impulse buy, you must pause and ask the owner's question. Will this build my future or just decorate my present? When you get a raise, you must fight the renter's instinct to upgrade your lifestyle and instead ask the owner's question. How much of this increase can I use to acquire more assets? You must surround yourself with the owner's mindset. Read the biographies of great investors and entrepreneurs. Listen to podcasts about building wealth, not about the lifestyles of the rich and famous. Curate your social media to follow people who are building, not just consuming. You are what you feed your mind. You must starve the consumer and feed the owner. This is your first and most crucial investment. It is the down payment on your future. Without this internal shift, all the financial tactics in the world will be useless. You will be building on a rotten foundation. But with the solid bedrock of an owner's mindset, you are ready to construct an empire. You are no longer just a person who earns money. You are the CEO of You, Inc. And it's time for the first board meeting. Chapter 3: The Financial Mirror. Where is your money really going? You have made the mental investment. You have committed to the identity of an owner. Now, it is time for the first and often most shocking action step. It is time to shatter the comfortable illusions you have about your finances and to look into the cold, hard financial mirror. You cannot change what you do not measure. The 99% of people operate in a dense financial fog. They have a vague sense of what they earn and a vague sense of what they spend, but the details are a mystery. This ignorance is a form of self-preservation. It protects them from the uncomfortable truth of their own financial habits. But this ignorance is also a prison. It keeps them powerless, reacting to financial surprises instead of proactively designing their financial life. An owner does not operate in a fog. An owner demands data. An owner requires a crystal clear, brutally honest assessment of reality. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to become a forensic accountant of your own life for the next 30 days. For 1 month, your job is to track every single dollar that leaves your possession. I do not mean some of it. I mean all of it. Every coffee, every pack of gum, every online purchase, every bill payment, every single cent. This is a non-negotiable rite of passage for every successful wealth builder. There are many ways to do this. You can use a budgeting app that connects to your bank accounts. You can use a simple spreadsheet. You can carry a small notebook and a pen with you everywhere you go. The tool does not matter. The act of tracking is what matters. Why is this so powerful? First, the simple act of tracking changes your behavior. When you know that you have to write down that $4 coffee, you will pause for a split second and ask yourself, is this worth it? You are introducing a moment of consciousness into a previously unconscious habit. You are shining a light on the thousands of small, automatic spending decisions you make every month. This is the first step to reclaiming control. Second, at the end of 30 days, you will have a treasure map. But instead of showing you where the gold is buried, it will show you exactly where your gold has been disappearing. You will sit down with this data and you will categorize it. You will create categories like housing, transportation, groceries, restaurants, bars, subscriptions, shopping, and so on. For the first time in your life, you will have a precise, data-driven picture of your financial reality. And for most people, this moment is a shock to the system. You will discover that you are spending hundreds of dollars a month on things you don't even remember buying. You will see the astonishing cumulative cost of those small, daily habits. That $5 a day coffee habit is not a $5 habit. It is a $1,825 a year habit. That $70 a month cable package is not a $70 habit. It is an $840 a year habit. The financial mirror does not lie. It will reflect back to you the real-world consequences of your daily choices. This is not an exercise in shame. Let me repeat that. This is not about making you feel bad about yourself. It is about empowering you with the truth. You are a CEO looking at the expense report of your company. You are not judging the past. You are gathering the intelligence you need to make better decisions in the future. Once you have your categorized spending, you will perform a value audit. You will go through each category, line by line, and ask yourself a simple question. Is the value and joy I received from this spending aligned with the amount of money I spent? You might look at your grocery bill and say, yes, feeding my family is a core value, and this spending is justified. But you might look at the $350 you spent on restaurants and takeout because you were too tired to cook, and realize that the value you received was not worth the massive hole it blew in your finances. You will look at the list of subscriptions you are paying for every month and realize you don't even use half of them. These are your money leaks. These are the holes in your financial bucket, and now that you can see them, you can begin to plug them. This 30-day tracking exercise is a one-time intensive diagnostic. It is a financial cleanse. You may not need to track every penny for the rest of your life, but this initial period of intense focus is what will give you the raw data you need to build your freedom plan, which we will discuss in the next chapter. The 99% will make excuses. It's too much work. It's too depressing. I already know where my money goes. These are the lies of the consumer's mind fighting to protect its comfortable ignorance. You are an owner. An owner is not afraid of the truth. An owner seeks it out. The truth is what sets you free. So embrace the mirror. For the next 30 days, become a detective. Track the clues. Follow the money. The discoveries you make will be the foundation upon which you will build your entire financial future. The fog is about to lift. Chapter 4: The Freedom Plan, Your Blueprint for Financial Control. You have looked into the financial mirror. You have the raw, undeniable data of your own spending habits. You are now armed with clarity, and clarity is the prerequisite for control. It is time to take that data and forge it into your single most powerful weapon in the war against wasted money. This weapon is your spending plan, but we will not call it a budget, because that word is loaded with the negative baggage of restriction and deprivation. We will call it your freedom plan. This is a critical reframing. A budget feels like a cage. A freedom plan is the key to unlock the cage. A budget is about what you can't have. A freedom plan is about what you will have: freedom, security, and the power to build the future you desire. It is a proactive, intentional blueprint for telling your money where to go, instead of passively wondering where it went. The system we will use is the zero-based freedom plan. The principle is simple. Every single dollar of your income is assigned a job before the month begins. Your income, your expenses equals zero. This does not mean you are left with nothing. It means you have given every dollar a name and a purpose, whether that purpose is paying a bill, buying groceries, or the most important job of all, investing in your future. Here is the step-by-step process for building your first freedom plan. You will do this every single month before the month begins. Step 1. Write your total monthly take-home pay at the top of a page or a spreadsheet. This is the total number of soldiers you have to command for the month. Step 2. Assign the first and most important job. You will create a line item called Invest in My Future. This is the principle of paying yourself first in action. Before you pay for your rent, your car, or your food, you allocate a portion of your income to your future self. In the beginning, this amount might be very small. It might be $25. It might be 2% of your income. The amount is less important than the act itself. You are psychologically and practically prioritizing your own freedom above all else. This money is destined for your savings and investment accounts. Subtract this amount from your total income. Step 3. List all of your fixed, essential expenses. These are your four walls: food, utilities, shelter, and transportation. Using the data from your tracking month, assign a realistic dollar amount to each of these. These are the non-negotiable costs of living. Subtract these amounts from your running total. Step 4. List all of your other necessary expenses and liabilities. This includes things like insurance payments and, for now, your minimum debt payments. We will attack debt with more intensity later, but for now, you must cover the minimums. Subtract these amounts. Step 5. Now, with the remaining money, you will consciously and deliberately assign it to your wants and other financial goals. This is where your freedom plan becomes a tool for guilt-free living. You might create a category for restaurants and allocate $100 to it. You might create one for entertainment and allocate $50. The beauty of this is that when you spend that $100 on restaurants during the month, you can do so with complete joy and zero guilt because you planned for it. The money was given that job. This eliminates the constant financial anxiety the 99% live with. Step 6. Continue assigning jobs to every last dollar until your running total reaches zero. Every dollar has a name. This plan is your financial roadmap for the month. Your job is to follow it. This will require you to track your spending as you go to ensure you are staying within the limits you set for yourself. This is where the discipline comes in. Your freedom plan is your boss. Your feelings and impulses are no longer in charge of your spending decisions. Your plan is. In the first few months, your plan will not be perfect. You will likely overspend in some areas and underspend in others. That's okay. This is a learning process. At the end of each month, you will review what worked and what didn't, and you will adjust your plan for the next month. You are not failing. You are calibrating. The Freedom Plan is the tool that transforms you from a reactive consumer into a proactive CEO of your own finances. It is the system that guarantees you are making progress toward your goals every single month, because you have made investing in your future a non-negotiable, top priority expense. The 99% will see this as too much work. They prefer the chaotic freedom of spending on impulse. But that is not freedom, it is a form of slavery. True freedom is control. It is discipline. It is having a plan and executing it. Your freedom plan is not a list of things you can't do. It is a powerful declaration of what you are going to achieve. It is you telling your money who is boss. It is the single most effective habit you can build to stop wasting money and start building your future. Build your plan. Work your plan. And watch as the chaos of your financial life transforms into a calm, powerful, and predictable engine of wealth creation. Chapter 5. The Anchor of Debt: Cutting the Chains That Keep You Poor. There is an anchor chained to your financial ship, and it is digging into the seabed, preventing you from sailing toward the shores of your future. Every time you try to rev your engines and move forward, this anchor pulls you back. This anchor is high-interest consumer debt, credit card debt, personal loans, car loans. These are the modern-day shackles of financial slavery, and they are the single greatest obstacle to building wealth from nothing. The 99% have normalized debt. They see it as a necessary tool, a normal part of adult life. They carry credit card balances month after month, barely glancing at the 18%, 22%, or even 29% interest rates that are silently and ruthlessly consuming their future income. They are working for the bank, not for themselves. Every dollar they pay in interest is a dollar that could have been invested, a seed that could have grown into a money tree for their family. Instead, it is being used to build the skyscraper of the credit card company. As an owner, as a wealth builder, you must adopt a new and radical perspective. You must learn to hate debt. You must see it not as a tool, but as a five-alarm fire in your financial house. It is an emergency, and you must attack it with the same intensity and single-minded focus that you would use to extinguish a fire. Before you can become a serious investor, you must first eliminate your role as a debtor. Why? Because the interest rates you are paying on consumer debt are almost always higher than the returns you can reliably earn from investing. Paying off a credit card with a 22% interest rate is the equivalent of getting a guaranteed, tax-free 22% return on your money. There is no investment in the world that can offer you that. Destroying your debt is the first and most powerful investment you can make. The plan for this is simple, aggressive, and requires a period of intense, focused sacrifice. This is a season of war. First, you must stop the bleeding. You must stop accumulating new debt. This means you stop using your credit cards. Cut them up if you have to. You will operate on a cash or debit basis, using the money you have allocated in your freedom plan. You cannot dig your way out of a hole if you are still holding a shovel. Second, you will implement the debt snowball method. This is a psychologically powerful strategy for building momentum. You will list all of your debts, excluding your mortgage, from the smallest balance to the largest. You will continue to make the minimum required payment on all of them. Then, you will take every single extra dollar you can find and throw it at the smallest debt. You will attack that one debt with everything you've got. You will pay it off as quickly as possible. When that smallest debt is gone, you will feel a massive psychological win. You have proven to yourself that this is possible. You then take the full payment you were making on that eliminated debt, and you add it to the minimum payment of the next smallest debt. You are now hitting the second debt with a larger snowball of money. You repeat this process, rolling over the payments from each conquered debt onto the next one. Your snowball gets bigger and bigger, and you start paying off the larger debts with astonishing speed. Third, you must find the money to create your snowball. This requires a scorched earth policy in your freedom plan for a temporary period. You will cut your lifestyle down to the bare bones. No restaurants, no vacations, no new clothes. Every dollar is a soldier, and every soldier is being sent to the front lines of the war on debt. You must also attack the income side of the equation. This is the time to work overtime, to get a side job delivering pizzas, to sell everything in your house that isn't nailed down. Remember, this is not forever. This is a short, intense, focused sprint to buy back decades of your future freedom. The 99% will tell you this is too extreme. They will tell you to live a little. This is the siren song of the perpetually broke. You must have the discipline to ignore them. You are making a short-term sacrifice for a lifetime of gain. They are making a lifetime of sacrifice for a short-term comfort. What happens when the war is won? What happens on the day you make that final payment and you are consumer debt-free? A profound shift occurs. All of that money, the hundreds or even thousands of dollars you were sending to your creditors every single month, is now yours. Your single greatest wealth-building tool, your income, has been fully liberated. It is now 100% available to work for you, to build your emergency fund to its full strength, and to begin investing for your future. You have cut the anchor. Your ship is now free to sail. The feeling of being completely free from consumer debt is a feeling of lightness and power that most people will never experience. It is a peace of mind that no material possession can ever provide. This is a non-negotiable step. You cannot out-invest your stupidity with high-interest debt. You must eliminate the enemy within your gates before you can build your empire. So, declare war, list your enemies, create your snowball, and go on the attack. Your future self will thank you for the battles you win today. Chapter 6. The Income Engine. You don't have a spending problem, you have an earning problem. You have now mastered the art of financial defense. You have a plan, you are plugging the leaks, and you are destroying the enemy of debt. You are controlling your money with a level of discipline that the 99% can only dream of. This is a massive achievement. But a great team does not win a championship with defense alone. To truly accelerate your journey from nothing to wealth, you must build a powerful and ever-expanding offense. Your offense is your income. Many people get stuck in a scarcity mindset. They focus all their energy on cutting their expenses. They try to save their way to wealth. And while cutting wasteful spending is a critical first step, there is a hard limit to how much you can cut. You can only reduce your spending to zero, but there is no upper limit to how much you can earn. The 99% will spend hours trying to save $10 with coupons, but they won't spend an hour learning a skill that could increase their income by $10,000 a year. They are playing a small, defensive game. The winner, the wealth builder, understands that after a certain point of optimization, the biggest lever they have to pull is the income lever. They shift their focus from scarcity to abundance, from saving pennies to creating value. They realize that they may not just have a spending problem, they may have an earning problem. Your income is a direct reflection of the value you provide to the marketplace. The world does not pay you for your time. It pays you for the value you create within that time. If you want to earn more money, the equation is simple. You must become more valuable. You must increase your capacity to solve bigger, more complex, and more valuable problems. This is not about asking for a raise. It is about earning a raise. It is about making yourself so undeniably valuable that your employer has no choice but to compensate you accordingly, or risk losing you to a competitor who will. How do you do this? You must become a student of your industry and your role. What are the skills that the highest paid people in your field possess? What are the emerging trends and technologies that are shaping your industry? You must identify the high-value skills and then create a deliberate plan to master them. This means investing in yourself. You must be willing to spend your time and your money on books, courses, seminars, and certifications that will increase your market value. The 99% see these as expenses. The winner sees them as the highest return investments they can possibly make. An investment in your own knowledge and skills will pay dividends for the rest of your life. You must also shift your mindset at work from being an employee to being an entrepreneur. An employee does what they are told. They complete their tasks. They wait for their next assignment. An entrepreneur acts like an owner within the company. They are constantly looking for problems to solve, for systems to improve, for ways to create more value. They don't just do their job, they look for ways to make the entire organization better. This is the person who becomes indispensable. This is the person who gets the promotions and the big projects, but you cannot stop there. The ultimate move on offense is to stop relying on a single source of income. A job is a single point of failure. You are relying on one company, one boss, for 100% of your livelihood. This is a position of immense risk. The true wealth builder diversifies their income streams. They build a personal income engine with multiple cylinders. This is the world of the side hustle, the second job, the small business. But you must be strategic. A side hustle that just involves trading more of your time for a linear amount of money, like driving for a rideshare, is a good short-term tool for cash flow, especially for paying off debt. But for long-term wealth building, you want to focus on creating scalable income streams. A scalable income stream is one that is not directly tied to the hours you put in. Can you take your knowledge and create a digital product, like an ebook or an online course? You create it once, and it can be sold thousands of times. Can you start a blog or a YouTube channel on a topic you are passionate about, and build an audience that can be monetized through advertising or affiliate marketing? Can you start a service-based business, like web design or consulting, that you can eventually systemize and hire others to help you run? The goal is to build assets that generate income for you, not just to sell more of your time. This requires a season of intense work. It means sacrificing your evenings and weekends, which the 99% dedicate to consumption and entertainment. You must dedicate that time to building. You are working your day job to pay your bills and fund your life. You are working your night job to build your empire. This is the path. Stop seeing your income as a fixed number that is given to you by someone else. Your income is a variable that you have a tremendous amount of control over. Your earning potential is a direct result of your personal growth. Stop playing defense. Go on offense. Invest in yourself. Become a problem solver. Build multiple streams of income. This is how you pour gasoline on the fire of your wealth-building journey. This is how you go from nothing to something faster than you ever thought possible. Chapter 7: The Crossover Point, From Saving to Owning. You have now reached a significant and exhilarating milestone. You have a positive cash flow. Your income exceeds your optimized expenses. Your debt is gone. Your emergency fund is in place. You have a monthly surplus of money that is no longer being consumed by interest payments or wasteful spending. This surplus is your army. It is the raw material of your future wealth. The question now becomes, what is the mission for this army? The 99% would give it a simple mission: save. They would pile this money up in a savings account where it will be safe. They have successfully evolved from being a debtor to being a saver. This is a commendable and necessary step, but it is not the final step. The saver's journey ends in a safe harbor, but true wealth is found by sailing out into the open sea. There is a silent and relentless killer of wealth that the saver's strategy cannot defeat. That killer is inflation. If your money is sitting in a savings account earning 1% interest, while the cost of living is rising by 3% per year, your money is not growing. It is shrinking. You are losing 2% of your purchasing power every single year. You are running on a treadmill and the speed is slowly increasing. Saving is a defensive strategy for not losing money quickly. It is not an offensive strategy for building real wealth. To build wealth, you must cross a critical threshold. You must evolve from being a saver to being an investor. And the core of investing is the evolution from simply holding money to owning assets. An investor does not just save money, they convert their money into ownership. Ownership of what? Ownership of businesses. These are the engines of economic growth and value creation in the world. When you buy a stock, you are not buying a lottery ticket. You are not buying a piece of paper. You are buying a fractional ownership stake in a real, living, breathing business. You become a part owner of that company. You are entitled to a share of its future profits and its growth. This is the most profound and accessible wealth creation tool ever invented. For the first time in history, an ordinary person, starting from nothing, can become a part owner of the most successful and innovative companies on the planet with just a few dollars. The 99% are terrified of this idea. They see the stock market as a casino, a complex and rigged game where they are destined to lose. This fear is born of ignorance. They confuse short-term trading, which is a form of gambling, with long-term investing, which is a form of disciplined business ownership. In the short term, the market is a voting machine, driven by fear and greed. In the long term, it is a weighing machine, driven by the real, underlying value and earnings of its businesses. The wealth builder is not a gambler. They are a long-term business owner. They are not concerned with the daily fluctuations of the market. They are focused on the decades-long trend of human progress, innovation, and economic growth. This is the crossover point. It is the moment you stop thinking like an employee who works for money, and you start thinking like a capitalist who makes their money work for them. It is the moment your army of dollars stops sitting in the barracks of a savings account and starts going out into the world to fight and conquer on your behalf. Every dollar you invest is a seed you plant. That seed has the potential to grow into a plant. That plant will bear fruit, dividends, and it will also drop more seeds, capital gains, which will then grow into more plants. This is the magic of the compound effect, the eighth wonder of the world. It is a slow, almost invisible process at first, but over decades, this small garden of seeds will grow into a vast, dense forest of wealth, providing you with shade and fruit for the rest of your life. The transition from saver to owner is a mental one before it is a practical one. You must be willing to accept a higher level of short-term volatility in exchange for a much higher rate of long-term growth. You must have the emotional fortitude to see your account balance go down during a market downturn and not panic. You must have the faith and the discipline to see these downturns not as a crisis, but as an opportunity, a sale on the world's greatest assets. We will discuss the specific, simple strategy for how to do this in the next chapter. But the principle is what matters. The identity shift is what counts. You must stop hiding your money and start deploying it. You must have the courage to become an owner. This is the moment your wealth-building journey truly goes into overdrive. This is the crossover from a life of financial defense to a life of powerful, exponential offense. You are no longer just trying to not be poor. You are now actively, systematically, and powerfully building your freedom. Chapter 8: The Automatic Wealth Machine, Your First Investment. You have made the leap. You are ready to transform your hard-earned savings into a powerful portfolio of assets. You are ready to become an owner. But as you stand at the edge of the vast and complex world of investing, it is easy to feel overwhelmed. There are thousands of stocks, bonds, and funds. There are endless strategies and a constant barrage of expert opinions on the financial news. This is where the 99% get stuck. They fall into the trap of analysis paralysis, so afraid of making the wrong move that they end up making no move at all. You will not do this. You are going to bypass the noise, the complexity, and the Wall Street hype machine entirely. You are going to build a simple, elegant, and profoundly effective automatic wealth machine based on one of the most proven and powerful investment strategies in history: low-cost index fund investing. Let's break this down. What is an index fund? An index is simply a list of companies that represents a specific portion of the stock market. For example, the S&P 500 is an index of the 500 largest companies in the United States. An S&P 500 index fund is a single investment product that automatically buys and holds all 500 of those companies for you. With one single purchase, you become a part owner of Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and 496 other powerhouse businesses. The genius of this strategy lies in its simplicity and its power. First, it provides you with instant and massive diversification. Instead of trying to find the one needle in the haystack stock that will be a big winner, you simply buy the entire haystack. This dramatically reduces your risk. If one or two companies in the index perform poorly, it has a very small impact on your overall investment. You are betting on the long-term success of the American or global economy as a whole, which has historically been a very, very good bet. Second, index funds are incredibly low cost. Most investment funds are actively managed, meaning they have a highly paid fund manager and a team of analysts who are trying to pick winning stocks. All of this expertise costs money, which is passed on to you in the form of high fees. Index funds are passively managed. There is no genius manager. A computer simply ensures that the fund owns all the stocks in the index. This makes them incredibly cheap. And over a lifetime of investing, low costs can add hundreds of thousands of dollars to your final nest egg. Third, and most shockingly to the 99%, low-cost index funds have a long and consistent track record of outperforming the majority of their high-cost, actively managed counterparts. Year after year, studies show that most of the experts fail to beat the returns of the overall market. By simply buying the market through an index fund, you are virtually guaranteeing yourself better results than most of the professionals. So, how do you build this machine? Step 1. Open the right account. You need a tax-advantaged retirement account, like a 401(k) at your work or an IRA individual retirement account, that you open yourself at a low-cost brokerage firm like Vanguard, Fidelity, or Charles Schwab. These accounts allow your investments to grow tax-free or tax-deferred, which is like pouring gasoline on the fire of your compounding growth. Step 2. Choose your funds. Keep it simple. A fantastic starting point is a single, broad market index fund, like a total stock market index fund. This gives you ownership in virtually every publicly traded company in your country. You can also add a total international stock market index fund to diversify your holdings across the entire globe. A simple two-fund portfolio like this is all the diversification and complexity that most people will ever need for their entire lives. Step 3. Automate your investment. This is the automatic part of the machine. You will set up a recurring, automatic transfer from your bank account into your investment account every single month or every single payday. This is the practical application of paying yourself first. The money is invested before you even have a chance to see it or spend it. This strategy, known as dollar cost averaging, also removes emotion from the process. You are investing consistently, whether the market is up, down, or sideways. When the market is down, your fixed dollar amount automatically buys more shares because they are on sale. When the market is up, it buys fewer. This discipline prevents you from making the number one mistake of the amateur investor, trying to time the market by buying high when they feel greedy and selling low when they feel scared. Your only job is to set up the machine, and then to have the discipline to never, ever turn it off, especially during the scary times. You must trust the process. This simple, three-step system is the most reliable and proven path for an ordinary person to build extraordinary wealth. It is a system that is built not on genius but on discipline. It is not about timing the market, it is about your time in the market. You are harnessing the power of diversification, low costs, automation, and the long-term upward trend of the global economy. Stop listening to the noise. Stop waiting to become an expert. Start building your machine today. Open the account. Choose your simple funds. Automate your contributions. And then let it run quietly and powerfully in the background of your life, compounding your wealth and building your future 1 month at a time. Chapter 9: The Ultimate Asset: Investing in Yourself. You have built a powerful, automated machine for converting your income into financial assets. This machine, left to run on its own, will build you a future of security and freedom. It is a monumental achievement. But there is another, even more powerful investment you must be making in parallel. It is an investment in the engine that fuels the entire machine. It is the investment in you. You are your greatest asset. Your mind, your skills, your health, your network. These are the underlying assets that determine your single greatest wealth-building tool, your ability to earn an income. The 99% of people stop consciously investing in themselves the day they leave formal education. Their skills stagnate. Their health declines. Their personal growth flatlines. They are like a business that has a great product but has stopped all research and development. In a rapidly changing world, this is a recipe for obsolescence. The winner, the true wealth builder, understands that the return on investment from investing in themselves is infinite. They are engaged in a lifelong process of personal and professional development. They know that by increasing their own value, they are increasing their ability to fuel their automatic wealth machine at an ever-accelerating rate. The first and most important investment you can make in yourself is in your knowledge and your skills. As we've discussed, you must become a relentless learner. You must be consistently reading books, taking courses, and attending workshops that expand your capabilities. This is not an expense. It is an investment. The $100 you spend on a course that teaches you a new skill can return tens of thousands of dollars in increased income over your career. You must ask yourself, what is the single most valuable skill I could learn that would have the greatest impact on my income? Identify it and then become obsessed with mastering it. The second critical investment is in your health. The 99% treat their health as an afterthought, something to be dealt with only when it breaks. They sacrifice their sleep for entertainment. They fuel their bodies with processed junk food, and they lead sedentary lives. This is a catastrophic long-term strategy. Your energy is the fuel for your ambition. Without your health, your ability to earn an income, to enjoy your wealth, and to live a vibrant life is zero. The winner sees their health as a core pillar of their wealth-building strategy. They invest their time and money in quality sleep, nutritious food, and consistent exercise. They understand that a healthy body and a sharp mind are a competitive advantage. The energy, focus, and resilience they gain from prioritizing their well-being allows them to perform at a higher level in every other area of their life. You cannot be a financial millionaire if you are a health bankrupt. The third investment is in your network. Your success in life will be a direct reflection of the people you surround yourself with. The 99% are surrounded by other consumers, by people with a scarcity mindset, by people who complain and blame. This is like trying to grow a flower by planting it in toxic soil. The winner is a deliberate architect of their social circle. They seek out and build relationships with people who are more successful, more ambitious, and more knowledgeable than they are. They find mentors. They join mastermind groups. They understand that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. They are not using these relationships to get something. They are seeking to learn, to be inspired, and to contribute value to the network. By surrounding themselves with excellence, they are pulled up to a higher level. This investment in yourself is what creates the upward spiral of success. As you learn more, you can earn more. As you earn more, you can invest more. As your health and energy improve, you can bring more to your work and your relationships. As your network expands, so do your opportunities. This is a holistic approach to wealth. It is not just about the numbers in your bank account. It is about building a rich life in every sense of the word. The 99% are so focused on saving money that they are unwilling to invest in themselves. They are penny wise and pound foolish. They won't buy the $100 book that could change their life. They won't pay for the gym membership that could transform their health. You must be different. You must see these as the highest leverage investments you can possibly make. Allocate a specific portion of your freedom plan to personal growth and development. This is you paying yourself first in the most fundamental way. Fuel the engine. Sharpen the saw. The more you invest in yourself, the more powerful your automatic wealth machine will become. You are the ultimate asset. Treat yourself accordingly. Chapter 10: The Compounding Kingdom, Playing the Long Game. You have been given the complete blueprint. You have journeyed from the swamp of the consumer's curse to the solid ground of the owner's mindset. You have built your systems, conquered your debts, and launched your automatic wealth machine. You are armed with the knowledge and the strategy to build a life of financial freedom. But there is one final, crucial ingredient that will determine whether you succeed or fail. It is the one thing that the 99% lack, and the one thing that the winner must cultivate above all else. That ingredient is patience. It is the ability to play the long game. Wealth is not built in a day, a month, or even a year. True, lasting wealth is the product of decades of disciplined, consistent action. It is the result of harnessing the slow, silent, and unstoppable power of the compound effect. The 99% are addicted to immediacy. They live in a world of instant gratification, and they bring this mindset to their finances. They want the hot stock tip that will double their money by next week. They want the get-rich-quick secret. They check their investment accounts daily, riding an emotional roller coaster of fear and greed. When their investments don't produce dramatic results in the first year, they get bored, they get discouraged, and they quit. They pull up the seedling to see if the roots are growing, and in doing so, they kill the entire plant. The winner, the wealth builder, is a farmer. They understand that you cannot plant a seed on Monday and expect to harvest a forest on Friday. They know that the most powerful force in their financial universe is time. They see their investment portfolio not as a slot machine, but as a compounding kingdom. Every dollar they invest is a loyal subject, sent out to work and bring back more subjects. In the beginning, their kingdom is small. The growth is almost imperceptible. This is the plateau of latent potential. It is the period of testing. It is where your discipline and your faith in the process are forged. The winner has the emotional fortitude to endure this period. They do not get discouraged by the slow start. They simply continue to execute their system, month after month, year after year, consistently sending more subjects out into the world. And then, over time, the magic begins to happen. The growth of their kingdom, which was once linear, starts to curve upwards, becoming exponential. The earnings from their existing assets begin to generate more income than their new contributions. Their kingdom is no longer just growing, it is self-perpetuating. Their wealth is building wealth. This is the crossover point where true financial freedom is born. To play the long game, you must learn to ignore the noise. The financial media is not your friend. It is designed to create panic and excitement to attract viewers. There will be market crashes. There will be recessions. There will be periods of terrifying volatility. These are not signs that the system is broken. These are normal, predictable parts of the long-term economic cycle. The 99% will panic during these times. They will sell their assets at the bottom, locking in their losses. The winner will see these times for what they are, the greatest buying opportunities of their lifetime. They will stick to their automated investment plan, knowing that their consistent contributions are now buying ownership in the world's greatest companies at a massive discount. They will have the courage to be greedy when others are fearful. Playing the long game is also about your lifestyle. As your wealth grows, you must resist the temptation to dramatically upgrade your life. You must keep your lifestyle anchor relatively low, allowing the gap between your income and your expenses to widen. This gap is the source of your investable capital. The bigger the gap, the faster your kingdom will grow. This is the opposite of what the 99% do. They are constantly moving their own goalposts, ensuring they will never truly be free. Your relationship with your wealth must be one of a patient, diligent, and dispassionate steward. You build your system, you automate it, and then you let it run. You should check on your investments no more than once or twice a year, simply to ensure they are still aligned with your long-term plan. The daily, weekly, and monthly fluctuations are irrelevant noise. You are not a speculator, you are a builder. You are not a trader. You are a king, patiently and wisely ruling over your growing kingdom. This is the final and most profound evolution. It is the attainment of a deep, unshakable financial peace. You are no longer tossed about by the waves of the market or the anxieties of your own finances. You are operating from a place of calm, confident control, secure in the knowledge that you have built a powerful, unstoppable machine that is working day and night to build your freedom. This is the reward for all your sacrifice, all your discipline, all your consistency. It is a future that you did not hope for, but one that you have meticulously and powerfully built with your own two hands. The closing. You started this journey with a simple, powerful idea. Stop wasting money, invest in your future. These are not just words on a page. They are a call to revolution. A personal revolution against a culture of consumption, a system of debt, and a lifetime of financial mediocrity. You have been given the complete blueprint, the step-by-step guide to staging this revolution in your own life. You now possess the knowledge that the 99% will never have. You know that wealth is not about your income. It is about your habits. You know that the path to freedom is not paved with lottery tickets and lucky breaks, but with the solid bedrock of discipline, intention, and, above all, patience. But knowledge is only potential power. True power is found in the relentless application of that knowledge. Most people will listen to this, feel a temporary surge of motivation, and then do nothing. The gravitational pull of their old habits and their comfortable excuses will be too strong. They will remain consumers, renters, and debtors, forever wondering why their ship never comes in. You are not most people. You have listened to the end because you are an owner. You are a builder. You are the CEO of your own destiny, and you are ready to get to work. The journey from where you are now to a future of financial freedom may seem long and daunting. Do not be intimidated by the scale of the mountain. You will not climb it in a single leap. You will climb it one single, deliberate step at a time. Your first step is not to become a millionaire. Your first step is to track your spending for one day. Your first step is to create your first, imperfect freedom plan. Your first step is to save your first $10 in your emergency fund. It is in these small, unsexy, and profoundly powerful first steps that the entire journey is contained. This is no longer just about money. This is about your character. This is about becoming the kind of person who keeps the promises they make to themselves. It is about earning your own self-respect, which is a form of wealth that no market crash can ever take away. You are forging a new identity. You are no longer the person who wastes their resources. You are the person who invests them. You are no longer the person who is owned by their debts. You are the person who owns their assets. This is who you are now. The blueprint is yours. The tools are in your hands. The future is an empty field waiting for you to plant your seeds. The time for wishing is over. The time for building has begun. Take your first step. Plant your first seed. Your future self is waiting to thank you.